Hey guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go.
All right, guys, here I am again. Same night, different video. And it is Wednesday, June 5th, and it is 10:42 p.m. Eastern Time. Gonna pick right up from where I left off with the last video. Got lots more news to cover, Q-related news, and so we're gonna go right over there now. Here we go. All right, let's start. I know I won't get through all of it in this video as either, but it's unlikely I'll be doing a third video tonight, but I will try to do two tomorrow to catch up because I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be a busy news day as well. All right, wanted to show you this from the New York Post, and this is the Virginia Beach looter. I'm not going to say that name, that word, because it'll be censored. So this is the Virginia Beach looter, and he was a black Muslim. Yes, he was. Dwayne, this is his last name here. He was 40, from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And this is the summary. His political party was, of course, Democrat. His ethnicity was African American, and his religion was Muslim. Income $200,000 to $249,999. This was not, he was certainly not poor by any stretch of the imagination, and his net worth was $100,000 to $249,999. He was in a relationship and had 9 children. And this is why the mainstream media has given no details about him. That would be why. And that answers a lot of questions, doesn't it? All right. Now, this I just found tonight. Obama was up here in Canada attending. I mean, we just had this. I think that's what he was attending, this basketball game, the Raptors. It was massive news up here. I don't keep up with that stuff, so I'm just not a sports fan. I know, but I'm just not. So unless it's equestrian sports, but other than that, no, not a sports fan. But there was a huge Raptors game, and apparently Obama came for that. But look what he is sporting on his ankle. Just saying. Another angle of Obama's fancy new ankle piece. And this is not a good picture. It's not, and I can't find, there are better pictures out there. I just couldn't find them. I saw them perusing around tonight, but I should have grabbed them then, because when I went back to grab it, this is not clear, but as he's walking away, it's very clear he's got something very bulky around his ankle. Now, it could be an ankle bracelet, a monitor. It could be. That is what I would surmise, but I can't imagine what else it would be. What would he be carrying around his ankle? There are no guns in Canada, so he's not strapping a gun to his leg because that would not be allowed. So I don't know. You tell me. What do you think he's got strapped to his leg there? A suspicious package, no doubt. So I don't know what it is. Anyway, and here is some more good news. Just gets better and better. I know you'll want to hear this if you haven't already. This from I Love My Freedom. Bear is, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but I think it's Bear. And McCain go missing from The View after suggestive assassination comments. And I know, I think I brought it up in my program, the comments that were made. I mean, absolutely mind-blowing that anybody would be that stupid to say those things on national TV. But there you go. They did. Well, she did. Unbelievable. Anyway, last week, while discussing the recent push by Democrats to impeach President Donald Trump, co-host of The View, Meghan McCain and Joy Behar, used very violent rhetoric to talk about the president. On Monday, co-hosts McCain and Behar were nowhere to be seen on The View, which suggests they may have been temporarily booted from the show for their comments that were made. Although this is just speculation, it seems very ironic that the pair just happened to be missing from the show directly after the comments were made. And this is a quote, "I will say, if you take this kill shot, Democrats, you better not miss," McCain said during the show last week. Co-host Joy Behar chimed in to agree by saying, "Yeah, you better hit his jugular, and if there's even a finger still moving at the end of it, you're going to ruin your chances in 2020, McCain noted while using graphic language. "But you'd better do this well if you're going to do it, and my faith in Democrats." Whoopi Goldberg jumped in to save McCain, considering the co-host sounded like she wanted to kill the president. Yeah, that's precisely how she sounded. And after Goldberg chimed in, McCain immediately apologized, noting, "I don't mean literally, I'm so sorry, oh my God, I'm so sorry," McCain said while stuttering. "I don't mean, oh my God, I mean like a metaphorical, I'm a hunter and a shooter, I'm sorry but about my metaphors, and I talk like a redneck, so sorry, but I will say you have to definitely do this. If you're going to impeach him, you're going to have to impeach him. It can't just be proceedings that don't end up successful. And again, please don't take that the wrong way. That's how I talk." Yeah, who talks like that? Nobody. Nobody talks like that. Like, "Oh yeah, you better go for the jugular, and if there's a finger still moving." Come on. You know what going for the jugular means. Yeah. Bear tried easing the situation by using a baseball metaphor. "If you swing, you have to hit the ball," she said, to try to let McCain off the hook. Down here, Pelosi says Trump wants us to impeach him. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said on Jimmy Kimmel Live that President Trump actually wants to be impeached because he believes the Republican-controlled Senate would bail him out. The co-hosts discuss if they agree. So that's where this came from. And McCain has hated President Trump because of the feud between the president and her father, swamp monster John McCain. I noticed somebody had tweeted tonight, John McCain is the greatest something ever, and I said, or I can't remember what they said, but I was like, what? Oh, the best patriot. And then I responded to them, I said no one ever. He's no patriot. He was no patriot. Anyway, according to the report in April, the McCain family, who claims to be supporters of the GOP, have announced that they will be backing Democrat Joe Biden during the 2020 election. He'll be, if he gets in, which of course he won't, but if he did, he'd be the groper in chief. That's what he'd be. The Washington Examiner reported earlier that sources close to both Biden's presidential campaign and the McCains said that at some point during the White House race, McCain's widow, Cindy, 64, and daughter, Megan, 34, a host on The View, will offer their public support in the hope of removing Trump from office in 2020. Well, good luck with that, girls. I won't call you ladies because you're definitely not, but good luck with that, girls. Okay, let's go back here. No, really, let's go down to here. And this from Joey, no, I can't pronounce his last name. He says, oh, no collusion. Okay, Joey No Collusion says, what a first lady we have. She has surpassed Jackie O in terms of style. If her husband was a liberal, she would be on every magazine cover every month for the entire presidency. Just amazing. True Eastern European and now American elegance. And look how she was dressed. Absolutely stunning. Actually, I don't think I have seen her ever look that good. She is just dressed impeccably. Her hair is up in a bun. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And what an image of class. Absolutely. Anyway, I wanted to show you that picture in case you hadn't seen it because it's absolutely beautiful. Now, Um, I don't know if you've heard, but the Trump baby balloon, the infamous Trump baby balloon that has him wailing like a baby and wearing a diaper, has been brought down. So I wanted to show you this. A British woman stabbed the Trump baby balloon while shouting, "Trump is the best." And she was arrested. So this is British woman stabs Trump baby balloon while shouting, "He is the best president ever." And he is. And this is the baby balloon they're talking about, of course, which is not nearly as big as they like to portray it. And of course, there's not that many people around this balloon at all, because thousands and thousands of people were shouting for Trump. And notice there's just a couple people there protesting. So, the Trump baby blimp, which took flight in London on Tuesday to protest President's UK visit, was reportedly stabbed by Trump supporter Amy Dalla Mura, known as Based Amy. In a video posted to Twitter, Mura films herself walking up to the nearly 20-foot tall orange inflatable baby blimp and stabs it with a sharp object, which were scissors, prompting shouts from surrounding protesters. She actually cut herself with the scissors too. I watched the video of her doing it, and she says, "I'm going in. It's my birthday. This is my birthday present to myself." She just sounded very, very cute. And she says, "I'm going in. It's a disgrace. This is a disgrace." And so she went in and she not only stabbed it with scissors, but she slashed it so that it couldn't be repaired. And it says, in a video posted to Twitter, Mura films herself walking up to the nearly 20... okay, I'll reread that. "That's a disgrace," Mura shouts. "It's a national disgrace. The President of the United States is the best president ever." So she stabbed it, slashed it, and walked away. Her hand was cut. And apparently what she was arrested for was having scissors, something, I can't remember it, something having scissors without a something. Shortly before police arrived, Mura films herself walking away from the blimp, encouraging bystanders around her to take a look at what she's done. I think Donald Trump's, she was laughing, and I thought it was pretty funny too. And, she says, "It's going down, and you better go on, it's going down." She was hysterical. Anyway, spokesman for Trump Baby UK told The Independent that a woman punctured the mini Trump baby replica with a sharp object, adding that it's not surprising that the far right would want to meet freedom of expression with violence. They always have to get that little dig in there. Scotland Yard spokesperson told The Independent that one female has been arrested, this is it, for being in possession of a pointed or bladed article. That's what she was arrested for. Scissors. Ah, scissors. Apparently you can't be in possession of scissors in the UK. I don't know how they cut things with. Like, what do they do to kindergartners? Really, what do they do? So yeah, she was in possession of a pointed or bladed article. Oh my gosh, she had scissors. Everybody run. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's her right there. And she is very, it's out there. If you Google it, you'll find the video. I'm not going to play it. It's not very, very good quality, so it probably wouldn't translate well going through my video to your video. No. So look it up if you're interested, because she is a cute woman, if you ask me. And she was apparently arrested because she had scissors. Oh my gosh. Based Amy also made headlines in 2007 when she reportedly cost rescue services more than £1 million by staging at least 50 cries for help and throwing herself in the sea around Britain's coast. Mura was reportedly banned from being within 50 meters of the sea surrounding the British coast. I don't know if that's true or if they're making that up or, just to make her look bad. I don't know anything about that. But she brought down the Trump baby balloon, and good for her. All right. let's go on because there's plenty more to be had here. Look at this from President Trump Rocks. It says, has a picture of Barron Trump, and it says, "We love you, Barron. Deplorables." And great picture of him. He's got beautiful blue eyes. He is a very attractive young boy. And he, no wonder, I mean, look at his mother. Barron Trump is the first boy child in the White House since JFK Jr. He was speaking fluent Slovenia and French at age 3. That's right, age 3. He now speaks 5 languages and is a chess master. He is being raised by his parents, not a nanny. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And let's go here, because we can. Yeah, this is a huge crowd in the UK chanting, "We love Trump." And it is a huge crowd. Let's listen.
If you are seeing this, just know that the great deplorables of the United Kingdom love you, we are with you, we stand with you, and we want you to succeed. Forget about the people in London, forget about the establishment, forget about the detractors in the fake news media. The real people out there in the United Kingdom, we love you, Mr. President!
Yeah. Bet you didn't see that in the mainstream media, did you? Nope. No, but they were showing the Trump baby balloon with the 5 people gathered around protesting. You know, yeah, of course. And then we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people supporting, you know, "We love you, Trump." And there's all sorts of Q flags there. And yeah, so not quite as hated as they'd like us to believe. Excuse me. And let's go back and go on. All right. Because there's still plenty more to be had. And then there's this. Yeah. Sorry. Get some bleach for your eyes ready. Yeah. Here's some Elizabeth Warren at a gay pride parade. Okay. She looks like a first-class kook. I'm just saying. What's with the feathers? And it says Pride Month is this is her, from her. Pride Month is a celebration, and it's a time to remember the trailblazers who fought for LGBTQ plus civil rights. Today and every day. Why is she lumping LGBTQ in with civil rights? I don't know. It's Pride Week, not civil rights, you know, whatever. But anyway, today and every day we renew our commitment to fight until everyone can live proudly without fear. I'll be right there alongside you. Happy Pride. Okay, and then she obviously, because this is her Twitter account, and it's got the blue check mark, so it really is hers. So she obviously had somebody out there, you know, recording her while she's, whoa. Okay, well, I guess it's whatever floats your boat. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Okay, now this is something else very interesting, very, very interesting. Breaking: former state senator Linda Collins-Smith reportedly found dead from a gunshot wound, according to her former press secretary, Ken Yang. Yang says her death is being investigated as a murder. Now, it says former state senator. Wonder what state she was the former senator of. Arkansas. Yeah. Gee. No coincidence there, is there? And they are saying it was a murder. So let's go on and see a little bit more about that. And former Arkansas state senator calls into QAnon YouTube channel. Patriot Soapbox, yes, she called in to the Patriot Soapbox, so she was a supporter of Q, and very, very interesting, because not that long afterwards, she is dead. And it says, police investigating the death as a murder. We have the latest on KATV News. So, yeah. Why would somebody want her dead? A former Republican Arkansas state senator appeared this afternoon on Patriot Soapbox, which is a 24/7 live source of content for the QAnon community on YouTube. And then former state senator Linda Collins Smith found dead. Maybe somebody doesn't want her to talk. Well, she won't be talking now, for sure. And I believe that we can probably just add her to the Clinton body count. That's what I'm thinking. And here's another something that's going to surprise you all. This from Kevin Shipp, CIA Director Gina Haspel, part of the operation to spy on Trump. Wow. The hits just keep on coming. As I and many others have commented, Trump listened to the wrong advisors when appointing Haspel. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting, if you ask me. Quite fascinating and quite almost unbelievable. So let's look at this because there's still more to come. Let's look at this. And when was this? I'm trying to find the date on this. Let me scroll down here. The 4th of June. So this was yesterday. It's very, it's new. It's new news as opposed to old news. The Mueller report, which debunked the media's Russia collusion hoax and cleared Trump of obstruction, contains a transcript of a voicemail left by an attorney for Donald Trump to an attorney for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn that is selectively edited to look incriminating. The transcript is the second part of the report, the part where dirty cop Mueller attempts to pretend President Trump is guilty of obstruction of justice. Spoiler alert, he's not even close. If you look at the text of the voicemail that the Mueller report, which debunked the media's Russia collusion hoax and cleared Trump of obstruction, chose to publish, it gives an entirely different impression from the full transcript, which was just released last week. This is November 2017 voicemail message left by Trump's attorney, John Dowd, for Flynn's attorney, Rob Kellner. I understand your situation, but let me see if I can state it in starker terms. It wouldn't surprise me if you've gone on to make a deal with the government. If there's information that implicates the president, then we've got a national security issue. So, we need some kind of heads up. Just for the sake of protecting all our interests, if we can, remember what we've always said about the president and his feelings towards Flynn, and that still remains. But now you can read the full text of the message, which the dirty cop did not want you to see. Emphasis mine. Hey Rob, this is John again. Maybe I'm sympathetic. I understand your situation, but let me see if I can't state it in starker terms. If you have, and it wouldn't surprise me if you've gone on to make a deal with and work with the government, I understand that you can't join the joint defense, so that's one thing. If, on the other hand, there's information that implicates the president, then we've got a national security or maybe a national security issue. I don't know, some issue we've got to deal with. Not only for the president, for the country. So, we need some kind of heads up, just for the sake of protecting all our interests, if we can, without you having to give up any confidential information. So if it's the former, then, remember what we've always said about the president and his feelings towards Flynn, and that still remains. But, well, in any event, let me know, and I appreciate your listening and taking the time. Thanks, pal. You see what Mueller did there? You see what he deliberately left out? His transcript leaves the impression that Dowd is doing something inappropriate, is going behind everyone's back looking to get information even after the door closed on cooperation due to Flynn's decision to make a deal with the special counsel. But if you look at the full transcript, Dowd is very specific about not wanting any information he should not have, not wanting any confidential information. That one little sentence, without your having to give up any confidential information, is what is called exculpatory, and there is only one reason for Mueller Mueller to remove it, and that is to further his attempt to frame Trump, even though he has to manufacture evidence, or in this case, hide exculpatory evidence in order to do so. Let's keep in mind that the Mueller report, which debunked the media's Russia collusion hoax and cleared Trump of obstruction, was over 400 pages long, so Mueller's decision to selectively edit his voicemail had nothing to do with saving space. What you have here is Exhibit A, showing what a dirty prosecutor does to frame the accused. Dowd, understandably, was furious over what Mueller did. This is clearly a baseless political document designed to smear and damage the reputation of counsel and innocent people, Dowd said last week. Representative Devin Nunes described Mueller's actions as outright fraud. I would agree. And isn't it interesting how all this stuff is just flooding out? It's flooding out. And let it come, baby, because we want all, everything that needs to come out needs to come out. Because, the little games that the Dems play have got to stop. And Trump needs to be not only vindicated, but apologized to, and justice needs to be done towards those people that deserve justice on both ends. Justice like Flynn needs justice, but also justice like Obama needs justice. He needs the other side of the hand of justice, or the arm of the law, whatever. Now, let's look at this, because this is also interesting. Perhaps you've seen this in the news, and perhaps you haven't. Former Broward County Deputy Scott Peterson appears in court following arrest. Parkland, Florida, former Broward County deputy arrested for child neglect and negligence in connection with the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland last year, appeared in court Wednesday morning. During the short bond hearing, Judge Jackie Powell set 56-year-old Scott Peterson bond at $102,000. Peterson's defense team asked Judge Powell to modify the conditions of his pretrial release, which requires him to surrender his passport. An attorney said Peterson lives in North Carolina and asked the judge to give Peterson 72 hours to go to his home in North Carolina, get his passport, then FedEx it back to his legal team in Florida so they can surrender it to the court. Judge Powell denied that request. The case will now be assigned to a circuit court judge. We intend to file a motion to reduce bond and motion to modify the terms of pretrial release, said Peterson's attorney, Joseph DeRusso. After the hearing, Peterson was arrested Tuesday on 7 counts of neglect of a child, 3 counts of culpable negligence, and 1 count of perjury, and booked into the Broward County Jail. His attorney was asked Wednesday if he expects Peterson to post bond soon. I anticipate it shouldn't take very long, but obviously the case has to work its way through the normal process, and of course Mr. Peterson expects to be treated fairly, said DeRusso. Yeah, right. According to his arrest warrant, Deputy Scott Peterson, while acting as a caregiver, willfully neglected, redacted, by failing to immediately take action as he was trained and is required of a caregiver to stop the active shooter, Nicholas Cruz. The warrant went on to say Peterson, in failing to or refusing to address Nicholas Cruz's action, exhibited a reckless indifference to or grossly careless disregard for others. So that is good news. BSO said following its own internal investigation, Sheriff Gregory Toney determined that Peterson and his supervisor, Sergeant Brian Miller, neglected their duties. They were both terminated and can no longer serve as deputies with the Broward Sheriff's Office. Peterson resigned just days after the February 14th, 2018 mass shooting that left 14 children and 3 staff members dead. The suspected shooter, 20-year-old Nicholas Cruz, is awaiting trial. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Peterson refused to investigate the school shooting and retreated while victims were being shot inside the school. That is absolutely despicable. Peterson told NBC's Today last June, "Those were my kids in there, and he would have never let my kids get slaughtered," Peterson added. "The shooting unfolded so quickly there was no time to intervene. I'm so happy that justice is finally being served," said Lori Al-Hadaf. I'm sorry, I probably mangled that, who lost her daughter, Alyssa, in the shooting. There's accountability for the lack of action of the coward that Peterson was and is. Fred Gutenberg, whose daughter Jamie died in the massacre, also commented on Peterson's arrest on Tuesday. Certainly not disappointed and not surprised. He needs to rot, said Gutenberg. He has continued to abuse the families by continuing to lie about how he failed my child and 16 others. He deserves to rot. He is responsible in large part for why my daughter is gone, and I have no sympathy for him. I'm glad he's arrested. In addition, Florida Attorney General Ashley Moore released this statement. I'm not going to go ahead and read that. I think we have got all that we need from that. I just wanted you to be aware that he is being held accountable, as he should be. That is justice in action. All right, let's go back and see what else we can get into. This, again, is very, very fascinating. Here we have Trump and the Queen, and I noticed in the pictures that the Queen was always smiling very sweetly to Trump, which I would not have expected, but she treated him very, very well as far as I can see. Insider, Queen Elizabeth praised Trump in now deleted interview, called him an amazing person with a good heart, and said, in another life, he could be my son. A staffer at an unnamed MSM news outlet in the United Kingdom is claiming they were recently involved in an interview with Queen Elizabeth II where she unexpectedly complimented U.S. President Donald Trump. The alleged insider said executives at the organization are fuming because they couldn't salvage the piece due to her relentless praise of the POTUS. Interesting. Very interesting. In an online post titled "Queen Elizabeth Loves Donald Trump Despite What Media Wants You to Believe," the person started out by saying the following: was just involved in an exclusive interview with the Queen, but the execs at my company decided not to air it because she praised Trump so effing much. It was literally impossible to edit and not make it look like a total garbage. The brass are fuming. It's as if she said, F it, and just spoke her mind. It was amazing. The staffer then provided just one of the Q&A interactions from the scrapped interview and explained how everyone was absolutely flabbergasted after her comments. Reporter, many are wondering about your relationship with President Trump. Can you tell us a bit about it? Queen Elizabeth, he's really just an amazing person, so thoughtful, We had some private talks and he is very genuine. I have a sense about people and the president has a good heart. In another life, he could be my son. Yeah, you won't hear this in the mainstream media, will you? After that, everyone was absolutely flabbergasted. I could tell it was hard for the interviewer to go on and follow the script, but she did, nonetheless. One person was naturally suspicious and asked the supposed mainstream media staff member what the station will tell the Queen after she realizes the interview will never air. Riddle me this. If they killed the interview, what are they going to tell her since she spent all that time doing it? She expects to see it on TV, right? Their answer, not completely sure what excuse they'll use, but they're pretty brazen. The higher-ups will probably just count on her brushing it off. She's sharp as a tack for her age, though, so it might not be that easy. Another chimed in and said, hope she insists on getting it out to the public. Interesting. So, yeah, that is pretty fascinating if you ask me. And of course, we will never see that in the mainstream media, and no one will ever suggest that, but they will lead us to believe that the Queen just tolerated him. So, and look at this picture also I wanted to show you. There was one place, this fish and chips place, said free bags of fish guts to throw at Trump. You're welcome. So, yes, there are people in the UK that do not like Trump, but there are a whole lot more who do. So that is what I wanted to get across there. And let's go back. Got to keep moving here. Keep moving. All right. And here's something else that I think is very interesting. All right. This, according to the Washington Times, London pub, hang on here, not this time. London pub renamed in Trump's honor. A great man for his country and for the world. Yeah, and this is from the Washington Times. At least one Londoner, besides the Queen, has rolled out the red carpet for President Trump. Damian Smith has renamed his West London pub the Trump Arms for this week and refitted it with American and Trump-themed decorations, including a sign reading, "Welcome, our American friends." This is an incredible man, and we have to show the American people and the president that he's a tremendous operator and a great man for his country and for the world, Mr. Smith told Fox Business Network in an interview Tuesday. Mr. Smith told Fox host Stuart Varney that the move has absolutely helped business, and when asked about protesters, she said they were not really a problem. "We have had tremendous business from local supporters and visiting tourists as well," she said, noting that he has used social media to spread the word and has made a similar move last year during a less pomp-heavy visit by Mr. Trump. The renamed Trump Arms is just a temporary move, though, and will be redone and revert back to the Jameson when Mr. Trump leaves, Mr. Smith said, though for reasons many an entrepreneur or former real estate mogul would understand. A permanent name change would have to go through the council and a big rigmarole, he said. So, isn't that interesting? Yeah, not everybody feels the same way about Trump. Of course, you'll never hear that in the mainstream media either, although I am gobsmacked that the Washington Times brought it to us. So let's go back. Still more to come. Still more to come. All right. Let's look at this again from the Washington Times. This makes me very angry. Pastor says he hurt congregation by praying for Trump during unscheduled visit. Yes, he's apologized to his congregation for praying for Trump. Since when does a man of God, if he truly is a man of God, since when do they have to apologize for praying for someone? Even if he was not a Trump supporter, we are commanded to pray for our enemies. Do good to those that despitefully use us. So, there's no excuse for this man. The pastor of a Northern Virginia church has acknowledged hurting some in his congregation by praying for President Trump when the president made an unscheduled stop at his church on Sunday. Pastor David Platt of McLean Bible Church in Vienna said he made the decision in haste and he did not intend his prayer to be an endorsement of Mr. Trump or any political stance. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation that we didn't see coming and we're faced with a decision in a moment when we don't have the liberty of deliberation, so we do our best to glorify God, Mr. Platt said in a statement to church members. I found myself in one of those situations. Referring to the Bible passage of 1 Timothy 2, 1-6, the pastor said, "My aim was in no way to endorse the president, his policies, or his party, but to obey God's command to pray for our president and other leaders to govern in the way this passage portrays. I know that some within our church, for a variety of valid reasons, are hurt that I made this decision," the pastor said. "This weighs heavy on my heart. I love every member of this church, and I only want to lead us with God's word in a way that transcends political party and position, heals the hurt of racial division and injustice, and honors every man and woman made in the image of God." Did he feel that he had to apologize to his parishioners because they might withhold their money? I don't know. White House spokesman Judd Deere said Sunday that the president stopped at the church to pray for the victims of mass shooting in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and for the community. The president's motorcade arrived at the church unexpectedly while Mr. Trump was returning to the White House from a golf outing at Trump National Golf Club in Sterling, Virginia. So, I was not happy about that. I think that that is absolutely, to me, that shows that he is a hireling and not a pastor. But who knows? All right, God alone knows. Okay, now, this I love. This from Flight Crew. She was kicked out of the Red Hen restaurant in Lexington, Virginia, but tonight she dines with the Queen of England in Buckingham Palace. God is great. Isn't that awesome? And there she is, looking absolutely stunning in her red dress. She looks amazing, and she is dining with royalty, as she should. I think she is too far above the Red Hen restaurant, and I'm expecting that they have probably lost a lot of business, and rightfully so. They should. It's disgraceful what they did. Disgraceful. So, yeah, I'm betting that none of the people from the Red Hen have ever dined with the Queen. Perhaps that's an assumption on my part, but I would just about guarantee it. All right, let's go on. And no, we are at the end. I did get to the end. I did. Okay, maybe we can pick up some of these things I left out to save time. So let's go see if we can do that. Let's see if there's anything else important that I need to get to. Just erasing this so I know what I have covered and what I haven't. Because, oh yes, I did not get to this, and I think I should. We discussed it in the last video some, and so I think it's only fitting that I bring this to you. House Judiciary launches antitrust investigation into tech giants. About time. The House Judiciary Committee announced Monday that it will launch a bipartisan, sweeping antitrust investigation into major tech companies. A small number of dominant, unregulated platforms have extraordinary power over commerce, communications, and information online. Based on investigative reporting and oversight by the international policymakers and enforcers, there are concerns that these platforms have the incentive and ability to harm the competitive process. The Antitrust Subcommittee will conduct a top-to-bottom review of the market power held by giant tech platforms. This is the first time Congress has undertaken an investigation into this behavior. Details. The committee's investigation is set to focus on three main areas. I hear a little black cat who is scratching on my leather chair. All right. The committee's investigation is set to focus on three main areas. Hello. Documenting problems with competition in digital markets, determining whether dominant firms are conducting themselves in an anti-competitive manner, determining if existing competition policies and antitrust laws and enforcement are up to taking on these issues. So, yeah, the only thing is that, the House Judiciary Chair is Jerry Nadler. Not my favorite person. The open internet has delivered enormous benefits to Americans. Oh, I'm not going to read all this. Nah, I'm not. It is out there. It's on Axios. If you are wanting to look this up, you can just Google antitrust investigation into tech giants, and you'll bring it up, and you can read till your little heart's content. Until your little heart's content, I meant to say. All right. Let's go back, see if I missed anything else. We might as well get it all if we can. Because gosh darn it, we want news. We want the right news, the real news. The news they're not going to tell us and won't tell us. I guess they think they have to hold our hands and tell us what to think and feel and believe. And apparently they do. But, I'm not so much into having my hands held like that, and I don't like the nanny state telling me what I can watch and what I can't watch, and what I can think and what I can believe and not. I don't like that. That's just me. That's why I don't have a TV, because I don't feel like I should have to pay for somebody else to give me propaganda. Why? Why should I do that? The shows that they're offering are absolute crap, and why should I pay to watch crap and be indoctrinated? No, absolutely not. Okay, now let's take a look at this, and we are drawing to a close here, but it says judge rejects Democrats' effort to block Trump's border emergency. Now that's good news. That's very good news. This was from Monday, so it's a little bit older news than some, but it's still quite new. So that is really good news. A federal judge in D.C. has rejected an effort by House Democrats to block President Trump's use of emergency powers to reprogram military funds for his border wall. So there. Democrats. I'm not going to read all of it, but yeah, that's what's happening. And I guess if we were really immature, we would just say na 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 boo boo, because yeah, they tried, but they didn't win. And one more, and we're done. Really, we are. I think we are. Let me just scoop back up here to make sure. Yeah, I wanted to keep this from Cereal Brain, and so this is the last one. And this is, I think it's a little bit older because I've meant to bring it the last couple times, I do believe. It is from, let me see now. Well, there's a woman with her really weird hair. All right, now. This is from June 3rd, so it's Monday, so it's a little bit older, but it's still fairly new. Hillary Clinton's campaign has not responded in 18 months. That's right, 18 months to Senate Judiciary Committee's request for documents and answers about the dossier. Well. She certainly does believe she's above the law, doesn't she? Yes, she does. It's been 18 months since the American people learned that Hillary Clinton and the DNC paid for the phony Russia dossier that was used to spy on Donald Trump during the 2016 presidential election, yet Hillary still hasn't answered any questions about the scandal. Hillary Clinton even tried to hide the payments to Christopher Steele by funneling payments to him through her campaign's law firms, Perkins Coie, who in turn paid opposition research firm Fusion GPS. Fusion GPS then hired Steele to compile the dossier. In January of 2018, the Senate Judiciary Committee, chaired by Grassley at the time, sent Joel Benison, excuse me, the chief strategist for Hillary for America, a letter demanding answers about the funding and motivation behind the dossier. Excuse me. Senators Grassley and Graham asked Mr. Benison to respond to 12 questions about Hillary and her campaign's involvement in commissioning the Steele dossier. Prior to the Washington Post article in October of 2017, were you or anyone else at Hillary for America aware of Mr. Steele's effort on behalf of the Clinton campaign to compile and distribute allegations about Mr. Trump and the Russian government? If so, when and how did you first learn of his activities on the campaign's behalf? Please provide all related documents, the lawmakers demanded a year and a half ago. The Republican lawmakers also asked Hillary's campaign if they received any memos from Steele about Donald Trump. Did you or anyone else at Hillary for America receive other memorandum written or forwarded by Mr. Steele regarding Mr. Trump and his associates that were not published as part of the BuzzFeed dossier? If so, how and when? Please provide all related documents, Grassley and Graham wrote. Yeah, I guess there were 12 questions altogether asked. It appears that, once again, Hillary Clinton is above the law because it has been 18 months since the Senate Judiciary Committee demanded answers and documents from Hillary's camp, and they still have not responded. It's been 18 months that America learned the Clinton campaign funded the anti-Trump dossier, yet not a single reporter has asked a question at any venue, and her campaign has not responded to Senate Judiciary Committee's document request. Award-winning investigative reporter John Solomon told Lou Dobbs Monday evening, Hillary Clinton owes us answers. Lots of them. So far, she has ducked them, even while doing many high-profile media interviews, Solomon wrote. Now, I'm not, well, I guess that is just about it. I'm not going to play that. And Hillary Clinton has the nerve to lecture Trump that he is not above the law. Here we have a Trump from her. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the president is not above the law. Well, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the former Secretary of State is not above the law. Yeah. So there you go. That is it. There's a little bit of something for everyone. So there you go. Kind of like a buffet. It was a buffet of news. So eat to your heart's content and spit out what you don't want, but not in front of other people. Spit it into your napkin because it's rude otherwise. All right. So that's it. And I'm going to go back over here to say good night. And it is, well, it's not so much here a good night because it is raining elephants and llamas. And we have a river that goes through here, through this town, and it is at its banks. It's just cresting, and they have sandbagged all along the river, but we are expecting more rain tomorrow, so who knows? Now, I am not in a part of town that will flood because I'm up a little bit higher, but so don't worry about me, but I do worry about the town, and because it is very close to the river, and the river is at the sandbags. So if you are thinking about it, say a prayer for this community that I live in right now, temporarily. And I'm sure all of you guys are experiencing, not all of you, but many people in the US right now are experiencing flooding. So I really don't even have a reason to complain. I just don't want people's homes and businesses ruined. I hate that. It's heart-wrenching when you see that. I don't want that to happen to anybody, and it most certainly has happened to many people in the Midwest, and is continuing to happen. So anyway, keep those people in your prayers, and I will be back tomorrow, and I hope that you will join me. And that's it for tonight. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate you guys. Really, I do. I love your comments. And even that video that was all choppy and everything. I mean, you guys are so wonderful. You really are. I don't know. I don't know what I did to deserve such great listeners, but I've got them and I'm thankful for them. So thank you guys. Have a good night and keep seeking truth, because deception bites.